Just gonna ask you like a random question, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite position?
Hey, man. Okay, fine. I think I know, comrades. Okay.
Because like mine is the left wing.
Yeah, my one is flank because I'm
a defender.
Number 6. Comrade, what were you thinking?
What are you thinking?
No. You see, I wanted to ask, what position? Because you can be talking about netball position, maybe we center like central. If you have served in any structure, if you are really serving with people who are ready to serve, and you're not going to agree on everything.
True.
If you serve with people who agree with you in everything, disband that thing, leave that thing, you're not going to grow.
Sure.
There's nothing, you're not going to have any improvement.
Hola, it's a podcast. It's a podcast. Network Varsity Unplugged. Stevovo-Mavovolase. Your host is Stevovo. Sirmguj, and TWISTA.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Sirmguj. I remember what tomorrow wami what Kubi. She was like Nyona. Funeka uzitembe. Yes, sir.
Cheers, it's your boy Stevovo-Mavovolase and TWISTA. GP and DP. Benegan, Gamohara Country, Reality Barcelona. You know what time it is.
What it do? It's your boy Fana Rusty Dusty Twista, the Twista.
Alex, we've been telling you this is now episode 3, and so you can tell that consistency is a thing in this podcast network.
Yeah.
And we told you that we are going to be planning on bringing people in. And today, gents,
Okay.
it is my honor.
Drum roll.
Well,
Drum roll.
we are in this podcast. We are currently embarking on a journey. It is a journey that will see us utilizing our lower limbs to a predetermined destination. What I'm trying to say is, we have a comrade today, Commander in Chief. How is it?
It's a mistake.
Mistake. What's a mistake?
A commander-in-chief is a Julius Malio.
It's Mr. Juju.
It's all about Juju. But you are chairperson of the EFF, but we don't want to introduce you like with your title and stuff like that. We just want to allow you to introduce yourself so that we don't leave anything behind. So any accolades that you might just want to throw out there. Can you put your mic closer to your mouth as well?
No, my name is Hlamulo. Surname is Korombi.
Okay.
Biologically, I'm a Tsonga, but I grew up in Venda, culturally. I grew up like practicing Venda culture. And in school, I did Venda. I don't know anything. I can't speak Tsonga. Yeah. So I grew up in Limpopo. Vembe district, Tolamela municipality, under the town Thoyando.
Shut up.
My village Chidzini.
What does Chizini mean, though?
Jeez.
It's just one of those.
Just one of those.
Sure.
Yeah, grew up there, went to primary school, just normal school, public school.
Okay.
Went to high school in my some wood around. Passed my grade 12, it was when we passed in my classes, majority of people when they pass they go to Unive,
And you made it here, big ups.
Then unfortunately we were lucky enough to make it to be accepted into UCT.
Yes.
I think properly on that year from my high school only 2 people came to UCT.
Wow.
But Doc, you say you're from Limpopo, and what I understand about Limpopo is that most people are smart and most people make it to like big varsity institutions.
But the high school which I was in, remember the high school?
Okay.
My high school is in Lower Quantile. This just
my nigga.
Same as the group.
Yeah.
So it's that high school which the highest student.
Yeah.
When you compare with the highest student, you're like, this person.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. No respect.
So that's cool. Because if I can remember clearly, even now, beside us 2 who came to UCT, people who goes like to this higher institution which have been rated.
Yeah, facts.
Per year we count numbers. I don't think per year they can pass 5.
You.
Because ever since I came to UCT, I came in 2021.
Yeah.
After my get 12, there's no student who came from a school of ever.
Crazy.
We're still those 2 which are here. Before us, I only knew one person who came here, I think, 2019.
Yeah, bro, that's a reality.
That's how it is.
Sure.
But they pass, they get bachelors, just that,
Yeah.
you know,
The
they
standard.
competition.
It's too hard. It's too hard,
which
dog.
I don't blame them. I think it's the environment and kind of education, because find
Gosh.
shortage of teachers. This thing of labs, they will start to see, we see it,
Varsity.
everything. So it's just
Eish.
you pushing. So yeah,
Hotlaloka, I get it.
that's who I am actually.
So you get to varsity.
I get to varsity. My first year arrive. It's COVID.
You.
Here at UCT, you know, it's I mean, this big city now.
Yes.
It's
COVID babies,
big town. I'm like, okay, fine. I stayed in this race called Avenue Road.
Okay.
That's where it's my first race.
Yeah.
When you enter there, majority were first years.
Is it like is it a mix?
Yeah, it's a mix.
It's a mix. Oh,
It's a
no.
mix. So it was the year which it opened. Actually, we are the one
So you were the first
we are the to open that.
So you were the first person to occupy that room.
that room.
Yo.
Yes,
The memories there.
Sure.
So,
hey.
so yeah, when we arrived there, I realized no man, here there are not a lot of seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So majority of people when they meet me at first year, they didn't believe that I'm a first year.
Sure.
I never. The way you know, a first year you are expected to act in a certain way.
Yeah.
But I arrived at UCT, the way I was, you will think, hey, I have 4 years around.
Sure.
I used to be. I watched out. I told myself, I'm not coming here to be, that means sense
I
of
get
I'm a
you.
first year. I never
Yeah.
had such thing.
I remember in I think we were in second year and we had this event for second years because we were called the COVID baby, so we didn't really have anything. Then when they were introducing the HSSC, so HSSC is basically like SRC of a faculty.
Okay.
Yeah, so Klamulo was part of that committee. And then they introduced everyone, and then they were like, Klamulo, also a second, like, this guy,
Yeah.
what's happening? Like, for me, when I saw you, like, this guy is definitely like in his final year or
So
something.
it's been here.
He got his tones,
I
bro.
just arrived. I think on my first year, immediately when I arrived, when we were called for the first day of, we are coming to because health science, even if it was COVID, we used to be called, we'd rather be called group by group.
Wait. So, he's doing health sciences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see that the
I'm studying
contrast.
physio.
Oh, crazy.
So there's physio and then there's politics.
Interesting.
How does they call it the politics bug bite you? So what introduces you to politics?
I think, I don't know, I can't say in high school. I never thought I would be in politics even when I'm in high school.
Really?
When I'm in high school, I was like, to me, no, I want to do medicine actually. I want to do medicine. Unfortunately, UCT with their medicine. They say, no, you can't.
Yeah.
But I ended up saying, fine, let me take physio. But when I arrived at UCT, I don't know what happened, but on my first year, that's the year where there was sort of a strike on the first week when I arrived. I think I just arrived in 2 days. There was a strike. It was the president declared when they were striking for fee blocks for them to be lifted in 2021. So that thing just thrown my attention of no, these guys are doing.
This can't be happening, though.
They're doing like something which I feel like I also can play a role in it.
Sure.
I think it inspired me on the following week when we were coming to a class. I think I ended up being a class rep immediately. Like they were looking for class reps. I didn't even hesitate. I didn't wait for someone to nominate me because nobody knows in the class.
Yeah.
I just stand and be like, okay, I'm here and I will serve.
Wow, interesting, man. Respect, dog. But why EFF, dog? Like, why EFF?
Yeah, I think yeah, let me put it this way. Let me just take it a little bit.
Yeah.
So when I start entering this thing of leadership, student leadership, first as a class rep, I was not into political affiliated. I was just me being
a leader.
But through like reading and checking all these political, because now I'm interested in politics. So I want to go deep into them and like try to find out what's really happening, how things are happening around. Then when I check into all political parties, I felt like the ideology which I relate to, the ideology which I understand, and then it's EFF. And another part which the ideology I understand, but they don't practice it, is ANC. Their ideology on paper it's okay.
Okay.
Majority of
They
them,
practice.
they're practicing it. No, they are not. Because you find everything which EFF will be talking about today is something which majority is written in the Freedom Charter, which ANC adopted in 1994. But all this year they are failing to practice it. So that's where I decided I think EFF would be best suitable for me.
But also it does make sense because if you're looking at the EFF, the leadership of the EFF is like a fraction of the ANC. So they basically learned politics in the ANC. Do you get me? Or am I politically incorrect?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I can't disagree or agree with you.
Yeah,
but you are right when you say they were in ANC. If you talk of Julius Malema, Fred Shivambu, those are the president of a youth league at ANC.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Julius started very young with Cosas. Then when they were suspended from there, they decided to form they came and form a political party. According to all those things, if you go to YouTube, I think they've explained a lot how did they move and everything. It's not something which I can sit and discuss on. So I think maybe also that's what inspires it to be like that. I don't know about that.
Okay. So like you're speaking about like the ideology, right, of the EFF. So like with respect to like university, like what is the mandate of the EFF there? Like what is it that you guys are trying to accomplish?
Before he answers that question, gents, we asked Kamalo to introduce himself and all his accolades, but he was humble enough to just tell us where he comes from and how he got to UCT. But Kamalo has served as the sports rep at the Health Sciences Council, HSSC, right? Is currently serving as an SRC member. And on top of that, he is the chairperson of the EFF.
Oh, chairperson!
So we are sitting with royalty here. But the question, you can answer the question, what is the mandate of the EFF and the role of the EFF within the UCT institution?
Well, chairperson.
Over to you.
Yeah, okay, no, just an overtaking question. Like why do you most like politicians, why do you guys speak like that?
To speak?
Like why do you guys speak like that? Like the comrade?
Yes, let me tell you something.
I don't know.
You don't know? It comes natural.
I also don't know.
It comes natural.
But I don't think I speak like that.
Really?
You do.
You do.
And what's crazy with politicians is that it's like, regardless of the context, regardless of where you are, you still speak like that. Like you still
bro. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even feel it.
I don't think it's anything intentional. It's just when you then.
It just happened.
It just happened.
Crazy. So you were speaking about the ideology, right, of the EFF. So like what I want to ask you is like, what's the mandate of the EFF with respect to UCT? Like what is it that you guys are trying to accomplish? Because I get the mandate of the EFF like generally, like which is like the redistribution of land for compensation, like economic empowerment, black economic empowerment. I get all of that, but like with respect to like education, with respect to varsity, like what is it that you guys are really pushing for?
No, I feel like we are pushing for we can't say a black child. Okay, a black child and all those people who come from not a family which does not have their like wealth also to be accommodated into this space. Because if you are being honest with yourself, this space when you're coming from such families, it kinda so in other simple words, we are trying by all means to get a free education for all, everyone to receive education which is the same, regardless of where you come from, regardless of the status of your background, where to all of students to be equal and receive the same education.
Can I get an Amanda?
Comrade, that's very interesting, man. That's very dope. What challenges would you say? Because obviously there would be, like in any other or revolution. You guys call it the revolution.
Yeah.
A revolution has to have forces that try resist them. So how do you, in your capacity as a student, deal with those forces that try to resist whatever movement you try?
I don't really get it. When you say,
so for example, we can date back to when we had the fee blocks. So those are like type of barriers where you're trying to protest as a student. It's a peaceful protest, and let's say it was led by the EFF, and then police are called on to you as a student. How do you then go back? You caucus with your people, go back to the drawing board and find a way to deal with such situations?
Yeah.
I think it's many things when they happen, you already know that such things can happen.
Yeah.
They say failure to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
Yeah.
So there is no way we can go to the ground and say we are striking. We already have different ideas. This can happen, this can happen, this can happen.
Sure.
We already knew that police can be called.
Yeah.
If they are not called, like we already have, this can happen, this can happen. So we already have a plan already of saying, if this happens, this is how we're going to move.
So bro, you're not afraid of rubber bullets, right?
It's not like you're not afraid, but you're putting yourself out there of I will do anything for the sake of students. Because remember, for you to be in that position, you didn't go by that thing. Don't go by CV.
Yeah.
Student have to deliver you.
Yeah.
So
they put you in power.
They put you in power. So by the end of the day, you must still think of that thing every single day when you wake up. That I am who I am today because they trusted me. So I am to deliver to them.
Speaking of power, dog, like like the very famous like Uncle Ben. Did you watch Spider-Man? Okay, no, we don't do that this side. Okay. But like Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, like there's a quote and like he goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Are you afraid? Right. And I feel like as part of the SRC, like as part of like the EFF, which is representing students who put you in power, you have a responsibility to represent the student. You have a responsibility to fight for the students, right? So a crazy incident happened like a week ago, a few weeks ago. We had Professor
Lumumba.
Professor Lumumba, a very intellectual guy, right? Like he had a lot to say, but a lot of UCT students, like were not happy about that because they feel like he's homophobic.
Yeah.
So, what's the responsibility in that? Like, what's going on?
I think, don't hesitate. Don't say you feel like he is homophobic.
Sure.
The man he is homophobic.
That's what he's saying.
He has said that himself.
So he is homophobic.
He is homophobic.
Crazy.
So, one thing which I felt like UCT students, we failed to understand, was first, when he was invited, he was not invited for UCT students.
So he was invited by the EFF?
The EFF rented a venue to UCT, a Sarah Batman, for people, for like, there were many events leading to the anniversary.
Yes.
Marikana, Canva, like
I saw that.
So if you follow, there were many events. So before I go to how I view that, but I just wanted UCT students are supposed to understand. The event, if you check, you didn't receive any email as a student.
Yeah.
You didn't receive any communique from UCT. You just see posters of EFF of saying they are coming to host to something. So UCT is a revenue which they rent their thing. There are people who, if you can agree with me, commercials. People can decide to just host a conference at UCT. They pay UCT. That's another revenue where they make money. So also EFF, not us, EFF Student Command. It was not EFF Student Command. It's EFF. There's, I think maybe must have a difference between EFF and EFF Student Command. EFF Student Command, we are into institutions of learning. At UCT, it's
that's EFF Student Command.
Then we have EFF, which is the motherboard. Indeed, Tina, you can't become an EFF Student Command before you become an EFF. We are
that makes sense.
We are the same thing, but when we are here, we are advocating for students. So the EFF want to host a political lecture at Sarah Batman.
A lecture for who?
For the people of Cape Town, general public. If you check,
even the students, right?
Anyone who wants to come.
Anyone who wants to come.
Anyone who wants to come. It was a public lecture. Then it goes and rent a Sarah Batman at UCT. That is the reason why when student write petition and send to VC, VC was like, this event is not ours. It's not said UCT event. It's not ours. They paid money to use that venue. There is nothing we can do. That's why even VC was like, there is nothing we can do. But in terms of perspective,
perspective,
yes, the guy is against LGBTQ plus community. As the EFF, we don't condone that.
You do not condone
We don't condone that. If you remember, the day when the bill was introduced, we are the only party in South Africa I can tell you this: DA didn't do anything, ANC didn't do anything. All parties we know, they didn't do anything.
So they were more passive about it. You guys were active.
See, now we're active. We even went and marched for this to show that we support, we are in support, we are behind them. But then now we are looking for a scholar. Remember, that lecture was not going to talk about sexuality. That lecture was not going to talk about community or sexuality. No. What we know is Prof. Lumumba is homophobic. That is the side which we hate about him. But there is something that we want from him, which is him being a Pan-African, someone who can give us the history of how was Africa before it have borders. So that's why I feel like he was here.
Can I quickly play devil's advocate? So I get you saying that you're against the homophobic side of him. But then why wouldn't you look, so if that's like, because obviously that makes a big part of who he is. So if you're a UCT student or if you're anyone, if you think of the prof, the first thing that might come to mind, unfortunately, is that he's a homophobe. So as the EFF, then you still go and invite that person regardless of the information that you have that is a homophobe.
I feel like EFF, when they go to invite him, and then not a purpose, but there's something which they want from him. I will give you a very simple example. There are people who grow in a family which they are Christianity, who they don't want to hear anything about ancestors. If you said such thing in that family, they can vanish you. They are true Christianity. But in which stage where today they want to build their house. They call any person, they don't go and check which religion. Someone who believes in ancestors can come and build their house. But there is nothing which is going to impact them. You know what? It's not there for anything related to religion. It's there to do what the service which they need from him, which is good from them. Then there is a part which they don't like about him, which we are not going to interpret.
Hey, these people are too clever.
You're SRC and then you are part of EFF, right? And I'm sure there are other like EFF members who are part of the SRC, right? So like now I want to understand, is there like conflict or disagreement within like the structure? Like are they, like how does something, because it's contradicting views, right? So we kind of get confused because other SRC members are also members of the EFF. So what's really going on there? Is there communication? What's going on?
Listen, if you have served in any structure, if you are really serving with people who are ready to serve, and you're not going to agree on everything.
True.
If you serve with people who agree with you in everything, disband that thing, leave that thing, you're not going to grow. There's nothing, you're not going to have any improvement in life. So always, I'm a person who enjoy, actually me personally, I enjoy interacting or working with people who have different perspectives from me, who disagree with me. And whenever we disagree, I don't suppress the argument. No, I put a better argument on the table. So there are people who fail to understand how to win an argument. You don't win an argument by suppressing argument to say, there's not even argue. No, you win argument by putting a better argument on the table. So in SRC, we can say they are EFF members like me, but SRC is not composed of EFF
only.
So any decision which will come out from SRC, it depends on what majority
voted for.
You see, and what majority says you are moving like this. In the capacity of SRC member, all SRC members were abiding.
That makes sense.
So that they don't feel there is any contradiction. It's a matter of in the structure. If we have different perspectives, we put arguments on the table, and we reach a point where we have like two things pending. We have two motion spending. It's a matter of now we cannot argue the whole year. We can't argue.
We have to reach a
sort of solution, which democracy. So we ought to vote. So when we vote, whether I was against it or with it, but the fact that majority have decided that we are moving this way, we all have to. I don't have to do it, but we all have to abide by it. Because a person who writes a statement is only one is. Secretary and the president are the only people who have access to a statement. The rest of SRC, 15 of them, they can't tell you about a statement. They don't have those power to release. But also those two, they don't release what they want.
They
wait for majority, what majority say.
And then you speak about democracy. What do you think, particularly with the EFF, as an EFF member now, not as an SRC member, do you think democracy is like good for South Africa?
It depends on, democracies, it needs responsibilities again.
Facts.
So we have citizens who just feel like we have democracy, and just actually I feel like everything in life, and then even if it's good, but if you kind of misuse it, it can have disadvantages.
Okay.
Bro, my thing is I honestly don't think like full-on democracy, I don't think is ideal for South Africa. I feel like South Africa, we're at a point now where we need, is it an autocratic leader? Or a leader that's got a dictator? A leader that's going to say...
Like China and...
This must have, not to the extent of China, but to some extent we need someone that is just going to be there as a dictator. Because people always use the scapegoat of democracy. They'll do whatever they want and then because of democracy. Bravo.
But also that you cannot say it's totally good.
Yeah, yeah.
We know that dictatorship.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's entirely good. I'm saying we need to practice to an extent. Do you get me? Just so that we.
I don't think you can be lukewarm though. Like I don't think with these things like you can be lukewarm. You either this or that.
So why don't you say we must practice democracy to a certain extent?
It can be said on the inverse. Democracy to a certain extent.
I feel like the democracy it is good.
Okay.
In terms of, let's take example for our government in South Africa.
Yeah.
Our parliament is formed by different parties inside, due to democracy and everything, and those parties have views and point. Tell me, if this country was only about like there was a dictator, let's say as a president as he is, you do as he like, there is no kind of resistance from opposition party. Where do you think this country was going to be? Because if you can be honest, some of the things where we must thank opposition party, even if they're not ruling, but the kind of resistance and
especially the EFF,
the kind of push which they give even in parliament, it makes them, whenever they do, they think twice of if we miss, we are going to be chased. If we slap, we are going to be chased. So which I still believe it's good.
That's why I think the EFF is like is a good opposition.
No, now because they're opposition, they are good opposition. Even when you give them the government, so they are just good. So when you are good, and then in whatever they give you, you will perform well. You will excel.
I see.
Regardless.
Excel, right? Speaking of which, so was it Peter Mukawa Stadium? Or where was?
It was FNB.
Oh, FNB. It was FNB. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. So FNB, we have Julius Malema there, rising like Optimus Prime. You know, he's on some. People are yelling. It's nice. Then fast forward, it's the. Hey, shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill. Come on, sir. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Kill the poor song. Kill the poor, the farmer. I just want to know like what's your view on that?
Look, because I think your question is coming after the Stenies and the president.
Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But we must be very, as black people, what happened in the past, our history, our grandfathers, those who came before us, those times they were being killed by white people.
Sure.
So that song was not sang when me and you were born. We were born and we found that song. So when we sing it in an event, we are not literally saying, let's go and kill. No. We are just trying to say, it's a remembrance of what once happened. We are like people who are just like, a history. The history, we cannot erase it. That's the standing song. And the reason why the majority of them, they are fighting back, because they are feeling guilty. Oh. So when we sing that song, they feel guilty, or actually even what they have today is the product of what happened in the past. The wealthy which even they have today is the product of what happened in the past. So when we sing, it's not we are saying let's go and kill. No, it's just a matter of remembering the history. What happened in the past? On Good Friday Christianity, they remember that Jesus was put on the cross. So that's how it is. That song was not sang today. I was born. Actually, if you go to videos, what Peter Mkaba before they died, they sing the song.
Facts.
I think Thabo Mbeki went and also explained that if you go to check on Thabo Mbeki regarding that song,
it's a video. It's
a song. Crazy. So I don't see a need of when that song is being sung, people have to be running around with singing because it's going to courts. It just shows that there's nothing good which they are willing to bring to us to the table. That resources they can use them for for something better.
Taking it to court is immaterial.
It's yeah, right. It's immaterial.
It's immaterial.
And it has been in court before. If you can remember very well, it has been in court before. When July, if you can go, it was in court before, and it was ruled that no, there's nothing. There was nothing wrong with it. So I'm surprised again they want to take it again back to court. Like they're gonna get a new lawyer. I don't know what's gonna happen.
No, I'm sure, man. It's Elon Musk, dog. Literally, Elon Musk went to Twitter and he tweeted that like, yo, they are literally, spreading propaganda for white genocide.
Sure, white genocide.
Cyril Ramaphosa, why are you not doing anything about this? And Juju responded and he was like,
Commander in Chief.
Obulela Masiba.
I think that's what I like about everyone in EFF. They don't get and I think what they, because most cases what they're saying actually makes sense when you sit down and take time to listen to what they're saying behind them being radical, because they are radical, sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of things that they say actually make sense.
True.
Even being radical, let's be honest with ourselves. For South Africa to receive a political freedom, I agree we have only political freedom currently. We don't have economical freedom.
Yeah.
That's what we are fighting for.
Yeah.
So for South Africa to receive political freedom, if it was not for them being violent towards white people, do you think we were going to be having it today? I can tell you, Bomkonto used to bomb buildings, used to fight, used to go to wars. We used to. It was a matter of radicalism, which it was. So I don't see any revolution which we are going to achieve by just chilling. Yes, negotiation is very important. At the end of the day, everything will be agreed on a negotiation and signed down and everything. But there must be some force behind it before negotiation. Before they go for a negotiation for allowing people to vote for this democracy in 1994, there is some force behind that happened before it reached a point where they say, now come, let's sit, let's negotiate. So if we are now being put away, saying no, they are too radical, they are not ready for this, we can't be saved, but they must give me one example or one country which was won without some intensity. Go to all history.
It's a war, actually.
It's a war. So you can't say we must go to a war and sit down. You are going to be killed.
Fact.
So, bro, speaking about because the EFF, part of the EFF is land, bringing back land to its rightful owners.
Yeah.
Do you know about how that would happen? Is it if there's a Paston there, hey Paston, that was my grandfather's land, give me my land back? How does that conversation? Because I feel like it's a conversation that we must be having, and that we just look away when we want to have such conversations.
Is it gonna happen?
Is it gonna happen in our lifetime?
I feel like when we deliver EFF in power, indeed, it's gonna happen. And many people just feel like we're just going to be like, okay, it's your land, take it. It's not going to be just like that. There are kind of ways of how to do it, how to start, because you can give you a land today, my lead. Yeah. But if we don't give you a support, you're not going to utilize that land. You're just going to waste it. Yeah. It's no longer being able to produce or to even assist you yourself also with just having a land. So there are a lot of things which they're going to take into account to look into it, and how must we implement such. In everything, they're already having an implement plan. If you just Google in your phone now and say 7 cardinal pillars of EFF, you are going to find it. Land compensation
What's that?
Is 7 cardinal pillars which EFF stand in. So the first one is that one of the land. If you just Google, you go and read, they wrote everything clear. If you can go and check into, if you just actually one thing you must always do is to read, comrades. Yeah, so if I was saying if you don't read, you will be misinformed. Sure. Because someone will just come and quote, you see in the whole book, quotes any one line. Because he didn't read how we arrived to that.
Take it out of context.
It can be taken out of context and you believe it and you march. So people have found them in a very large number of masses talking nonsense because they didn't read. They were just be told, they just extracted one line into it and be like, no, they say like this. So I feel like it's to read. Many people will say it's not feasible, but I feel like if they can sit down and read. Sometimes if we are lazy to read, I feel like YouTube can help us. That thing, if you go to YouTube, it has been explained a lot.
Yeah.
If you watch it, you will be able to understand it because they even explain how they're going to implement it.
Fact.
They say if you wanna hide anything from a black man, put it in pen on paper.
Jesus.
True.
Any other questions?
I mean, like, sure. 2024, right?
Yeah.
We're voting for the first time in forever. We're voting, right? Yeah, that's gonna be my
your
first
vote.
Yeah.
So you registered to vote?
Yourself too.
You have registered to vote?
No, I have.
No, I'm still going to. I don't know. I saw a poster.
Okay, fine. I think after this I will have to register you guys to vote.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We'll do it now. No
So,
problem.
the question, I asked everyone this question: do you think EFF is going to win?
Definitely, indeed.
Yeah.
Confidently.
Is going to win. We are going to deliver the EFF to the government. They are going to be the ruling party. We are not hesitating on that.
Okay.
We are going. It's there. We are going to win.
First favor I can ask you.
Our 2024 will be. It's our 1994.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he is our fit.
First favor I just want to ask for from the EFF, no load shedding. When you
Yo,
come into power,
nah,
please,
nah,
load shedding.
nah.
Bruh, like no load shedding.
Nah, I think that's the first thing we should just enter.
Yeah.
So then land and everything can continue from there.
Yeah.
You know.
Because load shedding is very bad, man. Like, not to drag this, but like it's very crazy. And you see, like we got load shedding schedules here in Cape Town, right? Like, I appreciate that, honestly. Like Ekaya, where I'm from, we don't even have that. They can literally take power for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Like, to study, I had to use lightning, dog. Like, 5 pages. You know, so load shedding, guys. Load shedding.
Yeah. Like load shedding, it have a very bad impact, huge in the economy.
Yeah.
Even we must look at people who are having sort of small businesses. So those people, you find that they can't afford it in a
Yeah, bro.
And you find that small business is the breadwinner, the one which at home is making the family to survive. So when the load shedding is coming, they no longer be able to sustain. For big companies, yes, it affects them also because they have a lot of expenditure. But it's better because they are able maybe to afford some generators.
Yeah.
But let's think of Mama who have to put things on a fridge and meat so that it gets ruined. It means she's running a loss. Find that small business for her is the one which is taking her children to school. She's able to provide for family. So it impacts our economy and people of South Africa very badly.
Sure.
Damn, bro.
Bro, you are now EFF chairperson, student, what do you call it? EFF Student Council chairperson.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
No.
Okay.
It's the EFF Student Command, Economic Freedom Fighters
Student Command.
And we continue.
You are now part of that committee.
It's not a committee. I
Why
think,
that?
listen, you become an EFF Student Command, you're a member.
Sure.
So it's in every organization, there must be a chairperson, deputy chair, secretary. So I'm a chairperson
of the organization.
UCT EFF Student Command.
Okay,
Sure.
so like if I join now, if I join the EFF, right? Can I get the better thing out of overall?
No, in order for you to join, you just have to sign a membership.
Sure.
Majority of time, if people, I always move around with like a bag. My bag is always having membership forms. When you talk, we do that. But then you can join online. You know?
Online.
For a mother body, if you just search EFF, you mother body for EFF, not EFF Student Command. You'll find a form which you fill online, and the membership fee for mother body is just $10. It's for mother body. But then for a student command here at UCT, we are like a society at UCT. You go to PeopleSoft, you search EFF SC, you find it, then you subscribe to it through PeopleSoft. The subscription fee of a UCT student command is $100, which I feel like everyone understands why do we need such a command. Any society for it to run, it needs a capacity.
Okay.
You know, because if we're talking of a match which we look for, we have to see through that man. Even if we'll get some maybe funded from outside, but that one is a basic thing. You cannot you can ask from a basic thing. Can you give me money to make a poster? Can you give me money? You can't ask from every basic. So that $100 assists us to have sort of a basic thing of this is where a basic need which a society need. When we're having event to buy some snacks, we we are able. Then for bigger things, that's where we call and say no. We are looking for 1, 2, 3.
So you won't be building Kandla with 100 rands?
Nah, and you know, for these ones of UCT, the same way which your funds of all structure of UCT are being used, that's how we use them. You have to do quotation, you go straight treasurer, sign you, give you purchasing order. So that one, there's no way you can even, like, it's the same way we use it resident everywhere. Because when you pay that money, it's not coming to us. We don't have an account. It's paying the student treasurer. We just receive the fact of this year you have this much of a budget. It means when we need something, we have to look for a vendor. You know those rules. You get to know, hey, this is not a vendor. We can't use. You get a vendor. Yeah. So that's how it is.
So you have to contact people from back home because you're going to work a vendor and.
Oh, Jesus!
I can say you're from Venda, so you have to.
No, think about those vendors.
So yeah, bro. Let's say, do you see yourself like as a future politician? Do you see yourself in cabinet? Do you?
Yeah.
What is politics for you?
For me, politics, I've mentioned again, is a role of responsibility. I must not say it's not, but I don't take it as a career. I take it as a role of responsibility.
It's more of a mindset.
So for me, I think if I get that opportunity to be in cabinet, to be able to serve the citizens, or to be in any position which I will be having responsibility to serve a certain constituent, I will really like that, and I think I will be able to serve. I think I will really want to serve them if I really get that opportunity. But again, as you know, I'm studying also for the sake of, if I don't get that opportunity, I'll be able to go and say my children can have balloon and
Now respect, dog, respect.
That's actually profound, bro. I feel like if all our politicians would have that mindset, because I feel like they don't get the responsibility part of politics, they're just there for the income or for whatever they're there for.
Yeah.
But it's really dope, man, to see that. But okay, let's say fast forward, you are in cabinet, you are a minister, you become a president. What's one thing that you change about South Africa?
Africa takes a lot.
It's a lot.
But I feel like one thing which I would like to push is to have more youth representative into governance.
Facts.
If you can look at how we're being governed by old men. That's why sometimes when they talk of being innovative, I ask myself, if you are 72 years old, how do you tell me about youth? How do you tell me about the Industrial Revolution? How do you tell me about, like, I don't really get it. Because if you can go and check your top 6, Demantashe, President Cyril Ramaphosa, those people are old. I feel like, even if we are saying we need them sometimes, but let's not have majority of them. Let's have sort of a balance. And sometimes you need a knowledge from there, you need a guidance from them. So have them, but also like try to push some youth representative inside. So it must be a combination.
So now all I'm gonna say is this, dog. Once you make it, remember, this was your first interview. This was your first interview,
Campus Chronicles, Varsity, unhinged. Yeah. I think it's part of. Yeah, we're gonna say.
This is the first interview on a broadcast.
It's the first interview,
on a broadcast.
Because I've been interviewed on SABC.
Easy.
If you can go and check the strike of UCT of this year, I think I was interviewed several times.
Okay,
great. So, in terms of broadcast,
in terms of podcasting,
this is the first.
This is the first. Okay.
And it's also our first guest. So it's like a major.
It's a universal thing.
So don't worry, I must come back. When I'm there.
When you're there.
I must come back again.
Must call about president.
So as you guys will know, that we're in episode 3 now, and we have a culture that we might have missed.
You know what time it is.
Confessions. We usually read out confessions from UCT, and we just have a conversation about them. But we were in the presence of great people, so we were starstruck. So we just missed that, but TWISTA will just go over that now.
You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Finally my time to speak.
Time to shine.
It's my time to shine now, yeah.
I didn't want a confession.
Let's get
so
into
this is
it.
now
Let's
where
get
we get
into
like the social part of Comrade.
Yeah. The culture. The first confession for today. The Jamie made a fast turn today and forced me to accidentally bite the pie of the girl who was sitting next to me. She looked at me like I killed her dog. Real talk. Are we even supposed to eat in Jamie's?
Crazy.
So I think that first year is in a not a self-catering race, a catering race.
Oh.
And he was probably tired of the gun chicken. He was like, here's a fire, let me just go.
No.
Let me get some
I think it's self-catering. He didn't buy grocery.
Self-catering.
This is my one and only chance.
What did you say first? What was the first line?
First line.
Yeah.
Jamie made a fast 10.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Jamie is like a UCT shuttle. So it's a bus that takes you to campus and all of that.
Yeah.
Just for the people that don't know.
But it's no longer a JME. You know,
What is it now?
You know, really, it was a JME before. Now it's a University of Cape Town shuttle. It's a shuttle. If you go to read, there's no longer the name JME.
Oh really?
And the fact of it has been JME for the past year. We have done
Jamie in the
JME shuttle now. It's a UCT shuttle now. But because we have that tendency, we will call it JME.
Thanks.
We are training of the gym.
Let's move into the second one. It's only been 4 months and I've already fucked her whole friend group. Group of 4. And they all know about it. Starting to think that I'm the one getting played.
Is that a guy or a girl?
First year commence Buddha.
Comment, not EBE at least. At least not EBE.
Come on, you comments.
Jensen, I'm probably too much of an angel. 4 at once.
Yeah, it's too much.
And they know about it.
Crazy.
Leader, what do you have to say about that one?
It's a strike at this one.
Is that How do you guys do it in the political arena? Because you know, as a guy, when you approach a girl, like you have that's where you speak, or when you're speaking to a girl. So for you guys, it's the same thing, or you still, can I please converse with you on this matter?
The way I don't even know I think like that. It's a matter of the same way we approach everyone.
Sure.
The same way I approach you if we wanted to convince you. It's the same way, you know.
Sure.
So like just gonna ask you like a random question, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite position?
Hey man. Okay, fine. I think I know, comrades.
Because like mine is the left wing.
Yeah, my one is flank because I'm
a defender.
Number 6. Comrade, what are you thinking?
What are you thinking?
No. You see, I wanted to ask, what position? Because can be talking about netball position, you center like central. You can be talking of soccer, which can say I like to be a striker.
Sure.
Okay, dope.
Next confession.
Move the third one. Yo, this is crazy. This is to the fellow gays.
Okay.
Professor.
Fellow gays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you stop yourself from falling for straight men? At this point, it's like they are the only existing human beings. Yeah, especially those soccer brothers.
Funani.
Boy who like boys.
Baba, you're the only soccer player.
Who plays soccer here?
You play soccer.
You play soccer.
Not anymore. I don't play soccer anymore.
But you're a soccer player, ne?
Yeah.
Not anymore. I was. Until I read this. I'm not a soccer player.
But it means it was written before you leave soccer.
You are part of the confession.
There's a lot of fine brothers in UCT. That's what they're saying.
Okay, well, let's move on. Sometimes I wonder about all honor students whose final year was 2020. Are they capable in their line of work, especially those who cheated on 97% of their tests?
Crazy.
That was a thing, dog. In COVID, like
how was it actually?
Your book is here, the quiz is here. You don't know you don't have an answer to the question. You refer to your book, dog.
Also, so there was a blessing for the
definitely, dog.
Crazy.
But even man, I feel like, bruh, like even when you're doing like clinics, you can be with a patient and you see a patient's folder, and there's a diagnosis that you don't know. You can whip your phone out and Google that. Because imagine going into that without knowing.
Facts. I wish I came in like in 2020.
But you guys can't do that because you.
Plagiarism.
You guys, engineering students, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, nah.
You have to know what you're doing.
Yeah. But maybe we do.
Moving on to the last confession. Even though admin takes long to post, they are still quicker than home affairs.
Yo,
That's a problem, man. That's another assignment.
Then you should change. Yeah, home affairs is crazy.
Last time I went to Home Affairs, I was doing my ID. It was when? I think I was 16 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. How old are you now?
I'm 20 years this year.
What? Wait, what?
I'm 20 years old.
Damn.
What I'm thinking now, what was I doing? I was 20 last year. What else was I doing when I was 20? I was busy playing around. This man is a leader of
Bro.
Yeah. What?
Respect.
20.
Yeah, I'm 20 years old. I just turned 20 in April.
Crazy. That's mad, bro. When I was 20, I was actually doing God knows what, bro.
Same.
Yeah, but nah, man. What's the next confession then?
Respect.
Was that the last one?
Yeah, that was the last
What was it again?
Even though admin takes long to post.
Oh.
The home affairs thing.
So that's your assignment. You have load shedding, you have home affairs to fix. 2024, we're definitely voting. Gents, we are registering right now. Guys, please, man, if you are between the ages of, what are the ages for voting?
When you're 17 years old, register. Like next year will be 18 years. So you'll be
Oh.
so when you're 17 years old,
Guys, please.
register to vote. So that next year, when you're 18,
Yeah.
you're gonna be.
Guys, please, everyone that is eligible for voting, guys, especially if you are a young person, please just register because we can't continue living like this. Like, we see the people that are in power, they're not serving us. So why not look for the better alternative? And the better alternative is always on my right. Guys, thank you. That was episode 3, guys. Thank you so much for coming, bro. We really appreciate your time. We'll see you in episode 4. Thank you.
Next.